Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now I have a special presentation tonight because I want to talk to you about how you can reverse type 2 diabetes naturally. Now I was going through some old reference books and I found amongst some of my health magazines a 2016 edition of Healthy Living. Now there's an article about diabetes and how it can be reversed through lifestyle changes and diet. Now this is going back to 2016, and at that time we had about 3.8 million people living with diabetes in 2016. Now today, in 2020, that's gone up to 4.9 million. And the statistics quoted in the analytics on Diabetes UK states that if we don't get this under control, by 2030, we could be looking at 5.5 million people with diabetes in the UK. And it's going up much more than ever in terms of the type 2 diabetes being diagnosed, and also people who are at risk of type 2 diabetes. I've had people come to me who are now pre-diabetic. It's become a thing where people are being told that they are pre-diabetic and they risk falling into type 2 diabetes, and it's so common now. So I had a woman about 5 years ago who said that she didn't want to go on medication. Her doctor was monitoring her blood levels. She was pre-diabetic, and with some coaching, dietary changes, she was able to, eliminate the risk of going on medication. And even today, she's still making those, she's still made those changes in her diet and lifestyle, and she's no longer at risk to diabetes. Now it's scientifically proven, and there's a Dr. David Cavan in this article who talks scientifically about the studies related around reversing diabetes naturally. But there's great news, because I'm going to show you tonight how you can reverse diabetes naturally by looking at the lifestyle changes in terms of diet, because that is one of the major factors alongside exercise. But diet plays a major key role. Now, there's a lot of people out there who will say they don't believe that there's any way they can reverse diabetes because they say it's genetic. It's been in my family, and I'm going to be prone to have it as well. But you can make changes because your genetics can be reversed for type 2 diabetes with lifestyle change, with dietary changes and exercise. Now, it's all right hearing this, and there's many people that will say, well, I never knew about this. Nobody ever told me this. But I'm going to tell you not just what you can be eating to help manage your diabetes, but to reverse your diabetes, and more so, the type of foods you can put together in practical, easy, simple steps to actually put together meals. So I'm going to start with a presentation, and if at the end you have any questions or comments, I'll address it to you. I'll address it at the end. And stay to the end, because I have something for those who are serious about reversing type 2 diabetes. Right, so I'm going to start with one particular beverage which is good for helping with the management of type 2 diabetes, and that is prickly pear. Now, you might have seen this prickly pear and you've overlooked it. It's a strange fruit. You wouldn't know what to do with it, but it's low in sugar and starch as well as carbohydrates, and they can be a great addition to your diabetic health routine. And it's been experimentally recorded that the prickly pear can even reduce blood sugar levels by 17% to 46% in some individuals. So we know that refined carbs and flour and pastries some pastas like durum wheat can be a trigger because of the starches in affecting blood sugar levels negatively. Now, courgettes are low in carbohydrates, and you can actually use it as a pasta substitute in making zoodles. Now, they're low in sugar, they're great for regulating blood sugar, and they even prevent blood sugar being, courgettes prevent high sugar, being a low glycemic vegetable. That helps to prevent insulin spikes and dips. Also, red meat can be detrimental to people suffering with type 2 diabetes. They're at high risk of heart disease and should avoid eating red meats in particular. Now, there are so many options, but when you've been given a diagnosis and you've never really had to think about managing diabetes, and let's just say you're on the risk list. All of us can be on the risk list as pre-diabetic. Well, there are many things that we can still consume and live a nutritious and healthy diet. And here I've got a vegetable burger, and if you haven't seen the previous video on how to make this, it's a high protein, it's made with chickpeas, and it's got your phytonutrients as well. So anything high in fibre, that's low on the glycemic index, that isn't going to spike your blood sugar, there are many foods that you can incorporate into your diet. Now the next one, this can be a real culprit. It's a sneaky one, and that's trail mix. And now it seemingly appears to be innocent and quite healthy, but trail mix with dried fruits can spike blood sugar. But you can make your own using seeds, like sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, with nuts and almonds, and use unsweetened coconut flakes to make your own at home and have as a snack. Dairy. Now, dairy is full of saturated fats. And here I've got a dairy-free omelette that you can make simply at home using chickpea flour, which is high in fibre, high in protein, because the saturated fats from dairy products can lead to problems with glucose levels in the blood. Using alternative ingredients, such as the chickpea flour, can provide a better substitute due to its high fibre content. So let's look at vegetables. Pretty innocent, right? But when we're looking at type 2 diabetes, you want to watch your starch, even when you are eating vegetables. Starch can raise blood glucose, so avoid things like rice and durum wheat and pasta, and vegetables that are high in starch, because even vegetables can be a trigger to causing insulin spikes. Focus on non-starchy vegetables like cruciferous vegetables, peas, parsnips, sweet potatoes in moderation, pumpkin, acorn and butternut squash, and plantains as well. Now, plantains can also be used in a baking substitute. For instance, banana bread. The fibre in plantains that you could use in banana bread, using something like spelt flour, wholemeal, can help your sugar levels stay steady for longer. So it doesn't mean that you have to cut out almost everything under the sun. There's a lot of people say there are things that they can't eat anymore, but if you understand the complexity of foods in terms of the ones that you can actually eat and still lead a balanced and healthy diet and enjoy some of the things you were used to healthily, you'll find that plantains are a good option. Now, in Nigeria, Some people use plantains as a natural way to manage diabetes. Some studies even show they may have a hypoglycemic effect or help control blood sugar levels, especially unripe plantains. Dairy-free ice cream. Now, if you haven't seen the video to that, I just recently shared the recipe to making your own dairy-free ice cream in very easy steps. Because dairy has saturated fats from the products, which can lead to problems with glucose levels in the blood. So try making this ice cream using frozen plantains instead of bananas, and lightly sweeten it with yacon syrup. Now let me explain a little bit about yacon syrup, because of course sugars are detrimental towards spiking the blood for type 2 diabetes. But yacon syrup is a great alternative to sugar. Over the past few decades, yacon tubers and yacon products such as yacon syrup, tea have been recommended to dieters and people suffering from diabetes and various digestive issues. It's also low in calories, and it's also nutritional, and it's great for gut health as well because it's got prebiotic value. Yacon syrup's nutrition feeds the good gut bacteria in your gut. It's a great food and it keeps your gut healthy and happy. Just 1 teaspoon of the healthy low-calorie sweetener can contain 7 calories, which is 3.7 grams of carbs and 2.3 grams of sugars. Also, yacon syrup has a low glycemic index and doesn't cause spike in your blood sugar, which is great news. Yacon root is shown to be hypoglycemic and may even decrease insulin resistance and serum insulin. Pretty cool. And this is what yacon looks like. It's a root vegetable that's actually made into a syrup. And you can add this into, your teas and your baked goods, provided you're using the right ingredients combined to be able to still enjoy the foods that you're used to. Now let's look at high fibre diabetic friendly fruits, because some people are confused over what type of fruits are going to be best, and some people believe that no fruits are really good because of high sugar contents. But blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, grapefruit, kiwis, peaches, plums, apples, oranges and watermelon are high fibre diabetic friendly fruits that you can put in your smoothies and your desserts and your baked goods. Now, there is some controversy over watermelon, but let me just say watermelon is 70 to 80% water. Its glycemic load is low, which is 2 per 100 gram. People with diabetes can consume 150 to 200 grams of watermelon at any one time, and it will give you around 15 milligrams of carbohydrate. Ginger tea. Now, a randomized study demonstrated that ginger can lower blood sugar levels and improve long-term blood sugar control. Now let's look at diabetic friendly oils. There is such a thing, because there are some oils which are not great for diabetes, but omega-3 oils are perfect. Now, do you know some oils are bad for diabetics, like canola oil? There are different types of refined oils that are on the markets, and they're hidden in our foods as well. But we want to concentrate on omega-3 oils for diabetics. Now, these contain fatty acids which help manage the condition better. And the correct choice of cooking oil plays an important role in the prevention, reduction and better management of diabetes. So what are these oils? Here are the diabetic friendly oils that you can use in your meals. Now, flaxseed is one, coconut, although I always advise, you don't overheat coconut, but but high heating oils like sesame, almond, hemp, low to no heat at all, olive oil, and macadamia as a high heating oil. But avoid oils such as canola and soybean, corn, and safflower and sunflower oils, and opt for the diabetic friendly omega rich oils. Right, now let's look at some of the foods that you can actually put together using these types of seeds, oils and berries. And here's a flaxseed porridge, for instance. Now this is something that you can have with mixed seeds and berries, and that could be done as a late breakfast or an early morning breakfast. And here's another example of the type of foods that you can put together that's diabetic friendly, which is a chickpea and spinach curry. Or you can have it as a stew if you don't enjoy curries. But these types of foods with seasoned quinoa and lentil rice is a great alternative to starchy rice. Now the fibre and protein are important for keeping blood sugar under control. Quinoa is higher than the content of many other grains, and it means that quinoa can particularly be beneficial for people with diabetes, since fibre and protein are considered important for keeping blood sugar under control. Chickpeas as well as lentils are well-known foods with low glycemic index, making them great choices for diabetes. Here's another example. I mentioned squash earlier, and you can put it together with chickpea and kale to make a curry or stew. Or why not cucumber, apple, ginger and lime juice, which you can have, that's great for diabetic sufferers. And I've got some more ideas for you, such as a cucumber juice with sea moss. Now, diabetics are prone to heart disease. It can trigger off the condition for heart disease when you are at risk if you are type 2 to heart disease. And if you have diabetes, you're twice as likely to be at risk, or a stroke. And someone who, rather than someone who doesn't have diabetes, you're at more risk. Now, sea moss, if you don't know what sea moss is, it's a sea algae. It contains 92 minerals, and it can improve your blood sugar control. It can help lower your cholesterol and reduce your risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Now, studies show that sea moss may help lower bad cholesterol, which is one of the factors for heart disease. This is one of my favorites, and it's my kale fritters. And this is a really diabetic friendly snack idea. I've used chickpea flour, which is high protein, high fiber. You've got your greens going on there as well. And this is something that you can make for yourself using those diabetic friendly oils, all baked, and have that as a snack idea. Or why not something delicious like raw cacao chocolate pudding? Now, why not? You can have these types of foods. You just need to know what to use. Things like the plantains I was talking about. You've got yacon syrup, but this is a great diabetic raw cacao chocolate pudding. And cacao is high in magnesium as well, so you're getting nutritional benefits. You can maintain a healthy diet and low glycemic foods eating like this. And why not have savoury muffins? Doesn't always have to be sweet. You can actually incorporate these vegetables into making savoury muffins using wholemeal spelt. So they can be delicious, you're still getting your nutrition, and you're still managing your blood levels. Something as simple as lemon juice, because citrus is a great way of actually helping to manage. If you're drinking, you don't want to be drinking obviously the processed high sugar drinks in the supermarket, or those with artificial sweeteners are a definite no-no. Lemons are full of fibre, full of vitamin C, folate and potassium, which would help benefit a healthy diabetic diet. And in a study, lemon juice significantly lowered the mean blood glucose concentration peak by 30% and delayed it by more than 35 minutes. Now, last but not least, we all know salads is very healthy for us, and salads are a great way to actually help manage and control diabetes. But sometimes we feel, oh, salad can be a bit boring, but there are different ways that you can dress salad by making your own simple, creamy green salad dressings. And that's by using something as simple as tahini paste. Now, tahini paste is actually sesame seeds that have been just processed into a paste, and you can use that with your greens. You blend it with your greens. You could even use it with things like parsley or coriander, and you blend it up, add a little bit of water, or just mix it and have it plain with a bit of garlic and lemon, and you can dress your salads and make them a lot more interesting. But I've got so many different types of dressings and sauces that you can use on salads to really make your foods more interesting. And I gave a 1 to 10 day example of different meal ideas that can really benefit type 2 diabetes as well. Well, that's it for tonight, but I just wanted to bring that message to you that there is hope and the science is out there, but there are so many people that don't know this information, or they've only been given part of the puzzle. So I'm looking to work with 10 committed health seekers that are really serious about making change to their conditions, particularly type 2 diabetes that's on the rise. Now, if you're really serious and you really want to reverse this, you really want to hack this, and you want to, overcome the risk of having heart disease or stroke, because diabetes is no, it's really no, easy task dealing with it, especially when you're not, you've got so much conflicting information and you might feel a bit lost. There is hope, and you can do this, and I can help you reverse it. I can help you in a matter of 12 weeks and more by working closely alongside me. So if you want more information and you want to know how, have a look in the description below and click that link. And if you know someone who is suffering with diabetes or autoimmune diseases, they don't know what to do, direct them to this video, give them this link, and get in touch with me so that I can help. So I do believe there's a comment in the live chat here today. So Yumi says, good evening, Carol and Anthony. Good evening, Yumi. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us.
It's great having you. Thank you. Yes, it's very important information. And this, right now we're looking at a huge increase since 2016. As I said, it was 3.8 million. Today it's 4.9 million. And Diabetes UK statistics have even stated it could be up to 5.5 million if we don't get this under control. So I was looking at this magazine last night and I thought, well, why are we not getting this under control? What is going on? Are people not getting the information through? Are people not aware that type 2 can be reversed? There are many other diseases that can be reversed, but because type 2 is such an epidemic now, we really need to get it under control. People really need to understand that lifestyle changes and diet can help reverse diabetes.
We have another comment from Sue who asks, do you have any recommendations regarding vegetable oil?
Yes, we've just gone over vegetable oils, and you want to stick to omega-3 rich oils and avoid the omega-6 oils. So let's focus on the ones that are going to be good for diabetes too. And some of the ones that I mentioned were sesame seed oil, flaxseed oil, macadamia, even hemp seed oil is very good as well for helping manage diabetes, and also coconut oil as well as olive oil. But coconut oil and olive oil would be best used coconut oil cold pressed, virgin, and that's olive oil, and coconut oil should really just be used on a very low to moderate heat. But the high heating oils like hemp and macadamia and almond, flaxseed, sesame seed, those are the ones that you can actually use in your cooking. So there's so much choice if you only know, but people tend to stick to sunflower oils and the canola oils and soybean oils. Those refined oils are not safe for diabetes. And if you're not getting that information and you need help, click the link below and find out how you can work with me. And I'm only taking on 10 people to be able to really work towards the healing process.
We have another question from Sue who asks, so does vegetable oil fall into the category with corn oil, etc.?
Corn oil as well, which is highly processed, highly refined, should be avoided. The ones that I've mentioned, you want to look at omega-3 rich oils, which are the better in the omega-3 category, which are the ones I've mentioned earlier.
Another thing is, you mentioned earlier that you could help somebody reverse their diabetes within 12 weeks or more. Did you mean to say 12 weeks or less?
No, you can. 12 weeks, now it depends on people's commitment. 12 weeks or more, because some people need more help than others. They've got to reverse all the old thinking and reverse the way they've been eating and what they've been told about diabetes. But 12 weeks is really the benchmarks. I've worked with people, and actually under 12 weeks, we've managed to actually keep them off medication. It can work, and it depends on people's commitment. But 12 weeks is a real benchmark to really hacking this. And if people are serious about it, then just 10 people, please contact me. There won't be many spaces left, but I'm opening up to 10 people. And for more information, you'll be able to get the link below and find out more.
That's it, I think, for the comments today. Thank you, Sue. Sue says she's got it, and thank you for the information.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Yumi, for joining me tonight. So keep watching, because I'll be back again each day with health information and tips to help you along your healthy living journey. Thanks for watching.